Good evening. Let's get after it. Well, I made a mistake today, and it is not a good one. Uh, Back to the glasses for my eyes and brain. It's kind of a wild night last night. So this morning, I woke up with a little bit of a headache, and now it has not gone away, and bright lights make it worse. You can call me whatever you want, a weenie, a wanker, whatever it is. But you know what? Deal with it. So, all right. If you guys saw my last video I posted, I did end up very close to a $22,000 payout. Very close. They were like, yeah, we're gonna do it again. And you know, like right here, this video here on my YouTube, if you go on here, if you subscribe to the YouTube channel, you can see all this stuff. You won't even be like, Chris, I already know what you're talking about. We don't even have to go over it. If you go over here and you click on it, you would find it, and you'd see that we were $300 away from a $2,200 $22,000 payout, and then at a boosh, it's gone. It's great. There's a lesson in there. There's also some psychology in it. You'll like it. It's good stuff. Well, today, to all days, so we got it built all the way back up. I got all those accounts back. We were on track for another possible $29,000 payout. And then, just this 30 minutes ago, to be exact, we blew it. And we didn't blow them all, but we blew two of the sets of my Tradeify and like my Flex, one of my Futures Elites account. Like I could pull that up right now. Shit, I'll pull that. Let's see. Pull it up in my trade journal. We can see this convenient same thing that happened. Oh, I'm so pissed. So pissed. It's not even, I've already cooled off, but I'm still pretty mad. So, if you look here, conveniently, it is literally the same day as last week. The same exact day. We were already now we were going to only be 3 days away from another payout. And we're still like 4 days, 5 days in my mind away from another payout. But now, because I failed that, I have to restart. That's the thing with prop firms. You know, you don't want to till through accounts. You don't want to have to keep buying evals like this, but it does happen. So luckily, if you're a beginner, right, I trade with E8. So I have these E8 Markets accounts, and these E8 Market accounts, they have a daily pause on them. So when you're in the funded stage and you hit a daily pause, it stops. You won't blow up the rest of your account. So that's the cool thing about those accounts. Let's see if I can pull it up. I could probably pull it up. All right, here. There we go. If you look here, we'll get into the trading here in a second. But if you look here, right, these accounts, they're really nice because you have a daily pause. So the daily pause is like $2,000 every day. So, right, the daily pause right here is 2,000. So I was up 103.5, and now I'm at 101.3 because of slippage and whatever. But now we're at that. So those accounts are locked. I can't touch them until next day. That's whatever. We'll just rebuild them back up. But darn, does that suck. Oh, does that suck. The suck sucks. So, what beast are we trading this evening? And it's going to be gold. We're going to trade some gold real quick. Hello, Scotty. Hello, Conclusion is. What's up? I've had some good stuff with gold. The only issue is, like, the crude prices have been going up. So with crude prices, it's conflicting and it's pushing the prices down on gold. But gold has not been following that, and it's been going up despite crude prices going up as well. You'd usually see that crude increases, those prices for oil increase, we have that rise in inflation, and then there's more odds of rate hikes, and then we start to see, pressure on gold, but it's all over the place. The last set of data that came out proved that, there was some easing, right? And so it looked bullish for gold. So now people are following that. But we just had the peak off of the war again. I mean, there is threats every night. Hey, we're going to do strikes, and they do the strikes, which is terrible, right? I mean, we had service members die, which is very sad, but a lot of people are getting hurt, and it's no place for me to talk, but I will say that that's tough. That's tough. But when it comes to trading now, we have to wait for the next set of data for institutions, all these other people in the world who are not retail traders, to be like, we're going to follow what the data says. We're not going to follow what the news is saying right now, none of this stuff, because that's the retail world and maybe smaller brokerages and stuff. But until that data comes out showing that we're having this pressure again from rising oil, gold has started to work its way up. Right now, it's in that limbo phase. It makes it tough. It makes it tough to trade. It really does. If you can catch those moves, those are great. If you can't, then it is what it is, right? But right here, I'm going to drop down to the 5. If you look on this, we are now below the 50, and we're in a downward trend. This is going to be where I enter on this gold trade here, and the reason being is we pushed below. We've had volume pick back up to send it down, and I'll zoom in because I know that. There we go. We've had volume pushing here, and we just are still pushing through despite that. The only problem I have right now is this giant wicking candle that just dropped all the way down to 4,074 at open. If I caught this at the bottom, that would have been nice. There never would have been an issue, but I mean, you don't know. You could have caught it here and it kept going down. But broke the Bollinger Band, retest, coming back around. Absolutely wild. Absolutely wild. But yeah, the trade that I was in, let's see if I can take a look here. Yeah, there we go. Beautiful. It was right here. I got in about right at this section, getting ready to go for a long. We go up, or no, I waited for confirmation first. This confirmed. I got in here. We immediately went back down. When I put in my contract sizing, I put in 10 micros was my intention, and my trade copier had 2 times, so you can make it so it's 2 times. So then it started 2 timesing all the others, and then I got screwed, and it blew my accounts. But right now, let's see. I believe we're going to be looking at a lot of shorts. So we just retested back up here. We got this gap filled in this opening range from Asia session, New York to Asia. We've got this push down. We had a little gap right here, and I like those little gaps in the trend. So we're gonna try and make just one nice small play. Let's see what the news said. I've been looking a lot at the 10-minute chart, and the 10 minutes been treating me real well lately. I don't know why, but it just has. So I'm going to enter this contract. We're going to do about 5 micros into here for a short. And remember, this is not financial advice. You do what you want. I am not a financial brokerage person. This is just for entertainment, educational purposes only. All right. But yeah, I'm going to take this. This would be my gold trade for the day. I would love to keep going on longs, but because if you look at the crude rose, we've had this run up the whole time. Not to mention this wick here shows 2 things, right? We had enough sellers to push this all the way down here, but vice versa, we had enough buyers to push this all the way back up. So, with that being said, usually there's a retracement back into this zone, and we've been waiting for it since we had this breakout. We've had a breakout back here, back on the 21st, and I've been waiting for it to retest. Is this that retest, right? Okay, sorry about that. We should be back. I think after all this, I'm gonna have to upgrade my computer processing. I just use a MacBook, but I have it like customized with extra RAM and a bunch of other stuff. So I think I may have to upgrade now. I don't think this bad boy can handle the all of the stuff. But to kind of continue what I was talking about, right? We had this first resistance line to break through. We finally broke through it. And so this is my first zone. Pop all the way back down. Looks like we are retesting that. And then the idea, right, would be we go up to here. This one is the one that's been on the downtrend for months. So probably since back in May, just before the peak. Just before the peak. But yeah, that's been the downtrend. So my hope is that we reach that, right? And we have that area for either. We may push this position up now that I look at it better. Yeah, and just technicals are telling us this isn't long. We had some volume. The only problem, right, to make this weird is this candle isn't bigger than the other one. That's the only thing throwing me off right now is right here, this volume. Is less than that one. That's usually what I make criteria, but we do have an engulfing candle of the last, which is nice. Yeah, looking at the 5 here. That push up. Yeah, just based on that 1 hour and the way it is, probably going to get out of this position and look for longs from here. Just based on the technicals, the target is probably going to be right up here at 140 because we've had that push up. But I remember on the smaller time frame, right, we're just now crossing below the 200. So that's why we're seeing some support and a push back up. And we have this downtrend right now when we haven't broken above it. Yeah. You know what? We are going to hold this. And mainly because of the technicals on this smaller time frame here. This 50 is crossing below the 200 here. And we're having, you can see the yellow, 5 EMA like reversing back down below it. Now, if we have a cross back above, then yes, it's obvious exit. But right now, the 50 and the 200 are the strongest EMAs, and we're pushing below that. So I'm going to stay in this position just based on that. If we have a cross above it, I'll get out, and then we'll need to probably look for the other direction. Sorry for the cutout though. It's getting pretty hot over here in the Pacific Northwest, so I don't think the computer likes the hot weather. Who would have known? Possibly work on getting a cooling station or something like that. Who knows? Yeah. Let's see. So the question is, are we going to continue up or are we going to continue down? So I still got about 2 minutes left in this candle. If that confirms, then I'll get out. Wow. Look at the moves coming in today. I swear, these are some good moves. The initial move from opening, this wick that goes all the way down 70, so it almost went down 60 points. 60 points and then came all the way back up. That would have been a nice one to catch because you smashed that Bollinger Band and you broke through that thing hard. So you know it has to come up within the Bollinger Band range and go up to the 13, which it did on here. So, and those are those technicals, solid technicals. Come all the way back up into the Bollinger Band, boop, 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 back up to 13 EMA. And then we had the continuation back. Well, this ain't looking hot, so I'm going to cancel this position. We're going to go back into this position going long, but I'm going to wait for a little retracement back down first. It looks like that's where we're heading, just for these technical purposes. If I was going to look for my next short probably wouldn't be until, we hit that line of resistance, which is about up here. So that's about 4,200, 4,090. And that's where that major resistance zone that I've talked about that we've been hitting for the last couple months. Let's see if we get a little pullback here. I don't want to get in at the top of this channel, that's for sure. We're having good volume. So I'll go over to buy, throw that over here. We're 5 micros. Let's see. Pretty wild though, I will say. That was very wild to experience 2 weeks in a row of being so close and then getting slapped. Man. But the thing is, I've been that close before. We've already been there multiple times. So now it's just finishing. It's just getting there to that point. And Scotty, I'm glad to be back. So I'm off paternity leave now, so I'm working away and doing this and the family and all that stuff. So you got to have a remote, realistic balance. You know what I mean? Balance is hard. Let's see. See, it never pushed above that, this next candle. You can see it opened below that. Of course, when I start talking about it, it moves different directions. But if I were to look for an entry here, like you could think of this as a fair value gap and target this. Let's get rid of some of this stuff so we can see it, right? There we go. You can target this, be considerable fair value gap, as some people do that. That's an option, that's a strategy. On the smaller time frames, that's what you would see, is this gap here. If a break below this, right, then we'll have sellers stepping in to push it back down. So that's why people will talk about this fair value gap, because you should see support here in this zone. If you don't have support here in this zone, then you'll have the push back down. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Here, I got an idea. All right, so here's another one, right? Mo's stock Mo trio. If we wait and this 15-minute candle closes above this one here, we'd be looking for good longs. That's a continuation pattern. So that would be right here. Let's put a line in the sand there. Go down to the 1 minute real quick. Take a look. All right, we get technical, right? Rounding bottom here. Let's see what happens. Volume started to pick up right here, so I'm assuming there's some sort of resistance. You can see it in this volume candle down here. And a break below here. Oh, not what I wanted. Right, a break below here will have that continuation down. So let's see if we can get what we can get. That'd be, so we've talked about this too another time, is that if we have this push down right here, rejecting off of a line of resistance with volume, right? There's no volume right in this candle. So it's kind of hard to say this is good volume for that. And so if you get that rejection and not a breakout, we usually have a run back down to an area of support with a push up. And that may be what's happening now, but we're on the 1 minute time frame. Let's see what happens. I guarantee you we did not break that line, so it is not going to be a perfect stock Mo trio. Yeah, see? Shows it right there. Now the question is, are we going to go down? Or is this just a little pause before we pop back up? So now I'm going to want to wait to down here until we get a push up, or until one of these candles here engulfs the other candle with volume to go for a long. Glad we started off our day though, putting it all together. Let's see. Some volumes picking up in here. Oof, don't like that. Don't like that at all. Now we're just playing games in here. Just playing games. Back and forth. Right, you had the EMAs. starting to get ready to cross down. We have that cross down. We'll have a little more movement. Vice versa, this could be a stock mode trio right here on the 1 minute. Now we wait. Because if you get in right here, this is like a 50-50 shot. It's 50-50 whether you think it's going to go up or it's going to go down. Because right now, we're in this sideways pattern. Just a lot of chop right here, waiting. And we just had the 5 cross. Huh. Alright, let's see if we get it. Another way you can tell it's kind of choppy too is if you look at this yellow line on the RSI, it just kind of stays around, floating around the 50. And that's when you know, like, okay, I should probably sit back and wait. Oh, this is looking good. That was good. All right, let's do it. Let's give this a shot. We're going to go on the 5 here. We're entering this trade. If we get a better push back up, then I'll double into my trade up here. Ba-ba-ba-ba-bum. Let's see how this plays out. Or other one I brought up, right, is the breaking of the Bollinger Band. We go up to the breaking of the Bollinger Band, you know there's going to be some sort of retracement. Might as well get out when you can. What's the, anybody know what the Fed rate hike probabilities are now? The Fed Watch tool? No change. So right now, as far as probabilities go, we're at a no change, still leaning towards a hike. So yeah, still no change or a hike. By December, they think there's going to be a hike, but as far as this next couple months, seems pretty flat. So that's good. That's good. Good for now. See what happens. We will see what happens. Just remember that this trade is, basing it off of these EMAs here. And so this would be considered like a scalp. If you're going to do a breakout, right, you want to wait until we reach this line here, or you reach down here, and we have a breakout and a retest. Same thing here, breakout. If I were to draw some lines, yeah. I feel like there's something in here that's like a bunch of like little bars. Let's see if I can't find it. No. Ooh, here we go. Here we go. No, not that one. Aha! This will work. We're going to use some emojis. Oh, this is beautiful. Okay, so we'll use this peanut. Okay, so you want to have this breakout here. Okay, you want to have this breakout right here. If you get this breakout right here, and how do I add another peanut? I want to add multiple peanuts to make this clear. Can I do this? Okay, and now we're going to put another peanut here. How do I put, gosh dang it, put the peanuts in there. All right, and you get another peanut. Okay, there should be a way that I am able to just like click it without it, but we're gonna make this look great. Okay, look at that. We broke out 3 peanuts, okay? So those 3 peanuts are like our bars, okay? And we broke 1 bar above the trend line. Now, we're gonna take some, let's take some spoons. So you take a spoon, and the spoon is like your downturn, right? That's where it's going. Okay, and we make that movement back down. And we got another spoon. Maybe it's a big old candle. Now I'm just having fun with this. Okay, then we want a nice retracement like this. And we're back. Another technical issue. I think my computer's just getting too hot. So I'm gonna have to order myself that schmancy pantsy computer that I was wanting. But if you didn't hear, I had to get out of that trade. We had that gap right there on the 5-minute, the crossing of the EMAs. It's just a recipe for disaster. I've seen it many times before where this happens. Honestly, I would enter a short here, and I will. I'm gonna enter like a two because it's not the greatest short ever. So I'm gonna enter in on a 2. If we have this breakdown here and pop back up, then we'll go down. If not, and it just plays wild games, then it's just playing wild games, and I'm done for the day. Let's look at the 1 minute here. Come on over. Yeah, it's looking like a break of structure too. So starting to come down. All right, I'm gonna stand up, put my, yeah, Rams are high. Rams are very high. So I'll more than likely have to get a upgraded device. And I already have it picked out. It's just very expensive because I want particular things, so I had it customized through Apple. And I'm not a sponsor through Apple. I just like their product. I like the simplicity of it. Let's see if we get some action here. I tell you what. Don't make this any harder than it is. Yeah, conclusion is the Rams are high. My laptop gets hot. It doesn't like any of that. You would think I'd have like a $10,000 fancy setup and all this different stuff and like 5 monitors and a whole concoction of things. But to tell you what, I don't even have a chair. I am sitting on a paint bucket. That's my chair. Or I stand because I got the raising and sitting desks, so I'm sitting on a paint bucket. And I'll send that in our in the River Edge channel. I'll show you guys. I'll show you guys the paint bucket. I've been sitting on that thing since it came out here. I just have no need to want to buy a chair. I don't know why. I don't sit for very long, so I just stand up and I do the trading standing up. You know, this ain't looking good here. I like it. I like that this could be a short. The pressure's there. What's the 10-minute look like? Looks good too. It all looks real good. All looks real good. Getting some craziness out in here. So we'll shoot for this Bollinger Band breaking. Right there. And we'll set that there. Well, that's not a good candle, is it? Yeah, sorry. I think it looks like we're gonna have some technical difficulties all day. And so I feel bad and I apologize. So I'll get that worked on. Just give me some time. It definitely doesn't like that. Maybe I'll just start putting ice packs under my computer. And then it'll be over. Then the computer will crash and no longer work. All right, here we go. More movement. I mean, this is what? From 9:45, the whole hour is just sideways in here. A whole hour. Sideways. From here to here. Whole hour. It's ridiculous. Conclusion is, what's funny is I got upgraded RAM on this laptop. And I got the highest you can get, which I think is 16 RAMs. I think it's 16 RAMs for the MacBook. So I got 16 RAMs on it, and guess that's not enough for doing this type of work. Very unfortunate. I like this. I like where we're heading with this. Let's just break through this line here. We just got to break through this line. If we break through this line, probably take that, and then I'll add into my position, and we'll go down lower. But you could take profits, right? You wanted to make 11 bucks. You could close part of your position. Because you sold 2 contracts, you have to buy a contract back. So you come on in here, and you can go like this, and you can go over and click 1, and click buy. Or the other way, you click the trade button on this right side, and you go to, where is it at? Oh, I think it'll let me do it because we're zoomed in too much. So if I zoom out my computer a little bit here, you just click the trade button. Now you can click on this, and you can do the same thing from here. So now you can push sell or buy in the corner. Looks like you guys can't see that, I think. Yep, you guys can't see that. Let me fix this. There we go. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. Now we're on our way. I'm gone for 1 week. 1 week and all this nonsense starts to go down. 1 week. I've barely been gone. All right. Yeah, but we're back in action now, right? Oh, okay. So if you zoom it in too much, you can't do it. But Shift D. There you go. You can do the demand order flow here. So I could add into the position down here with the buy to buy back part of it, or I could sell, or I could do, I think the limit order is already set down there. So that's cool. Let's add in one more. I like the volume that we're at right now. We're going to add in one contract. There we go. There we go. There we go. We're going to sell one contract there because that's great volume. Let's see if we push through. Yeah, with the Apple, I think it's hard to add RAM on an Apple, like Apple products, because they come standard. I think that's the issue. Conclusion is, Meads, hello. I still cannot do futures, or am I doing something wrong? I don't know. Meads, I'll send you a message. Oh yeah, this is a good one. We're taking her down. We're getting our one here. I do want to look at the 5 minute. Let's see if we got what we wanted. Yep, this is obviously a line of support here, but look at those buyers, those sellers. Now this could easily reverse, right? Because this is an area of support. So, take your winnings. We'll move on to the next round, right? The next round of trading. You wait for this full push down and then the pull back. That would be the next round. That's what I would consider the next round. We have this push down and the pull back and the push back down. But the volume isn't supporting it just yet, so let's see what happens. I do not know if I can get messages, or was it on Discord? No. Yeah, we gotta figure out, Meads, if you're using Robinhood, NinjaTrader, or what you're using, because I want you should be able to enjoy the futures life. Why is it doing that? All right. Oof. Look at that 5-minute candle. Doesn't that look nice? All right. Oh, goodness. What is going on today? On Robinhood, I thought you had it set up as long as you have enough. So Meads, as long as you have enough margin, right? And you've signed up for futures on Robinhood, you should be able to trade futures. So with that being said, you may have to go into the settings and like enable futures trading. That may be something you have to click on. I can't remember for certain, but I know that you are supposed to do some sort of something like that. Well, goodness golly gracious, that's not a good 5-minute candle. And that 5-minute candle matters way more than this 1-minute candle of the 3 trio here, which that 3 trio just coincides with that on Robinhood. Maybe it's margin. I only use cash account, so I'm always settled. Oh, that could be it too. You should be able to switch it to margin now, actually, because the PDT rule changed. You should be able to switch it to margin and it won't matter. As long as you have over the $2,000 in your account for day trading, it'll be sufficient. But the thing is, I've traded on a cash account in futures on Robinhood, so you should be able to. Man, this is wild. Absolutely wild. We got slapped one way, and we are maybe going to get slapped the other. But we're just letting this play now. It's not looking good at all. And we pushed back up above the 5 EMA here. We still got about 3 minutes in this 5-minute candle. And as you guys know, I normally trade just the 5-minute candle. So I wait for longer moves. This is not good. So if we have a close back above this candle here and we go green, I'm going to get out and we're going to call it a night. Unfortunately, we're not going to get the trades that we wanted today. And that just is what it is. We'll come back in the morning stronger. But it's all about preservation of capital. So, preservation of capital. Let's see if it closes. Where we get our reverse. But it looks like long until we have a breakout below here. That's going to be your safest bet at this point in time. Looks like we are just going to be trading sideways in here for a little bit. So the dreaded minutes as they tick by. This is the patience game you gotta have. So people will get in, get out, get in, get out, get in, get out. You gotta have a criteria, right? I have a criteria to wait until the end of a candle close before I get out or I get in to make sure I know which, like, if that's the true direction of the candle. And today, This is not the true direction of the candle. And we're out. That's too much. Alrighty, guys. Sorry. We tried today. We tried. It hit me. So we're just gonna shoot for tomorrow morning. Regroup tonight, and we'll go from there. So we'll try and attack it in the morning. So in the morning, I'll be doing my more normal coffee and market prep session. So we'll do that and go from there. So thanks, guys. We'll catch tomorrow. Tomorrow is where it'll be. All right, see ya.